Glad to have you back again for a great episode of The High Road. I'm Drake Travis, and this is...
Serena Travis. We have a terrific show for all of you today.
You seem pretty excited. Could it be our guest?
Yes, I am very excited to be sitting down with Brenda Epperson. She played Ashley Abbott on The Young and The Restless. Brenda's dynamic career spans decades in Hollywood, acting in both television and movies.
But I understand that her path wasn't always easy.
I'm looking forward to talking with her.
Well, yeah, me too. I tell you what, how about you take the first part of the interview, I'll join you for the second part, and meanwhile, we'll lighten it up with the lighter side. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and populated the earth with broccoli, spinach, and great vegetables of all kinds, so that men and women could live long and healthy lives. Then, using God's amazing gifts, Satan created Ben & Jerry's ice cream and Dunkin' Donuts. Satan said, "You want chocolate with that?" Man said, "Yes." Then woman said, "Add pretty little sprinkles to that." Then they gained 10 pounds, and Satan smiled. So God said, "Try my fresh green salad." Then Satan presented ranch dressing and bread and croutons. Women went from size 4 to size 16. Then God brought out the healthy olive oil to cook with, and Satan brought forth deep-fried chicken and country-fried steak with gravy on it. Then man gained more weight, and their cholesterol shot through the roof. God then created nice, fluffy angel food cake and said, "It is good." Then Satan countered with big, thick chocolate cake and called it devil's food. Then God created running shoes, and Satan came up with television, and then cable television. God then gave them lean beef, and Satan discovered the golden arches and called it McDonald's. Then God sighed and created quadruple bypass surgery. Then Satan countered that with the Obama health care system. We'll take a break, and Serena will start the interview right after this.
Of a little girl she'd never even met that Brenda Epperson turned down meetings with Playboy magazine for appearances early in her career. She went on to build a legacy that spans decades, making her mark in television and music, and becoming a popular speaker and an author. She portrayed Ashley Abbott on the CBS day drama The Young and The Restless, and signed with TriStar Music as the opening act for the Grammy Award-winning Lionel Richie. You know, her greatest achievement to date is one that is nearest and dearest to her heart. It's a little girl for whom she turned down those meetings with Playboy. Actually, it turns out to be 3 little girls. According to Brenda, her greatest achievement to date are her 3 daughters, now grown. Brenda's journey hasn't always been easy. She's overcome cancer and weathered the ups and downs of her career changes in Hollywood. Would you help me to welcome Brenda Epperson?
Who is that you were talking about?
Oh, somebody amazing, and that's you. So tell me, Brenda, what drew you to Hollywood?
First of all, I want to thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
It's so wonderful having you. You just like sunshine, pure sunshine.
Well,
it's great.
I love the show. I love what you're doing and
thank
High
you.
Road. And you know what drew me to Hollywood really was, it was kind of always in me. My father was a country western RCA Victor recording artist. And when he died, my mother moved my sister and I from Los Angeles to Oregon. So I grew up in a farm,
Wow,
like logging town with
I can
cows
identify with that.
and
Oh my goodness,
horses and 4-H and all of that.
Oh,
so
wow.
I couldn't have been any further removed from the business.
Yeah.
But it's something that was in me, and being in the entertainment and being on stage and being in front of the cameras and the lights. So it was something that was in me. And Hollywood, seeing that, I was in Oregon on the West Coast. My sister went East Coast to New York. I went West Coast, California. I wanted to explore the talents that I felt that I had and see where I could take them.
Okay, so were you in plays? Were you, what did you do? I mean, like in high school, or was that?
Yeah, well, growing up, I
Okay.
was always pushing the envelope. So it was a small town, like I said, so there
Okay.
wasn't a lot of opportunities.
Okay, yeah.
So, you know, I was in 4-H. I was also, you know, Miss Oregon United Teenager.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
So,
wow,
you know, I was always
okay.
trying to see where I could take my abilities or improve on them. I would sing at pageants. I would judge pageants.
Oh, okay.
I was in tennis. I went to state, and I sang at church.
So you came down to Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you had some opportunities.
Right.
What about those early opportunities? I mean, this is where it started to launch, right?
Right,
So
right.
tell us about that time when you were in those early years in Hollywood.
Well, I left, you know, I graduated high school and I left right to California. $100 in my pocket, a wing and a prayer, jumped in my little Plymouth and drove to California to stay with my aunt. And she let me stay there because I didn't have any money. So I started waitressing at, which was MGM at the time, now Sony.
Okay.
And I looked like a girl on a show. And she actually was modeling a show that I was waitressing at. So I went backstage and I said, hey, you don't know me, I don't know you.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, and that's kind of how my career birthed. But prior to that, I auditioned for different groups, and I was kind of doing some auditions for a rock group, but I saw that it was leading down a path that I didn't want to go.
Okay.
And I saw that it was going to head towards darkness, and I really wanted to do positive things in my career.
So a part of that dark path, I mean, and you were trying to avoid that, it sounds
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
So what happened with that Playboy thing afterwards? You know, they approached you. How did that work?
Well, I was approached several times. I was waitressing, and I'll never forget. I was making probably $12,000 a year, maybe with tips a little bit, and then any commercials or anything I would get would be an addition to my money that I made waitressing. And I was approached with this commercial in Germany where nobody would see it, but it was topless.
Okay.
And they said, nobody's going to see it. My agent's like, this is great. It was more money. It was double the money that I made in 1 year. Just this one commercial. Nobody would see it. And I remember just really going, okay, this is a big decision. This is a time in my life where I'm going to choose, right or wrong, something that will bring life or death into my career and for others. And I said no, and I cried. It was hard.
Wow.
It was hard.
But you were picturing somebody.
I was.
Yes.
I was. And I said, one day I'm going to have children, and I'm going to have to explain to them why mommy did this, or, what this is. And then I'm going to have to try to tell them not to do it. How does that work? Because you can't do as I say, not as I do. We learn, and children learn by watching us, not by what we say, but by what we do.
Amen,
it's our
right.
actions that speak louder than our words. So I turned it down, I cried, I prayed, I said, God! And then that's when I, not long after, landed the Young and the Restless.
Isn't that amazing? So in many ways, your prayers were answered in a sense because you turned something down and then an opportunity opened up.
Well, in a million ways they were answered, and also it was really difficult because through that time I remember just going, this obedience thing doesn't work. I turned it down, but nothing's happening. I'm still broke. I still, ride my bike to audition sometimes. I'm serious, it was hard.
Oh, yeah.
But I had this drive and this passion to just see what I could do and what kind of mark I could make in the business. And my motto always was to affect the world and not let the world infect me.
Wow, okay. That is a powerful statement. So did you end up turning away other things as well? Was that pretty much it?
Oh, no, there was a lot of things. There were offers to, you sleep with this person, you can get this job, on this movie. You do this, you can get that. And it's, it's a really dark business, and it's very persuasive. And when you are put in front of the camera, you do have the power to persuade and entice. In order to influence somebody, you have to persuade and entice them. And I really wanted, my heart was and is and remains that I wanted to be different. I didn't want to do what everybody else was doing, meaning just sleeping with this person or,
You wanted your life to be an impact.
Yes, I wanted to, in a positive way, and promote life.
Love that.
Death.
Yeah, promoting life. That is so powerful. Hang on, Brenda. We are going to bring Drake back, and he is going to talk with us. And For those of you who haven't heard, Brenda has an organization called Ascend Women's Conference. We're going to hear a little bit more about that in a little bit.
I'm Dr. Drake, and it's time to cut the nonsense. The 2012 election ultimately pivoted upon Ohio and Pennsylvania, and for what it's worth, Barack Obama did not win that election. I shall explain. One must win Philadelphia to win Pennsylvania. The puppet string pullers know this. 59 of its precincts turned in 100% vote for Barack Obama. So Philly went for Obama, so Pennsylvania went for Obama. There were enough counties in Ohio with identical results. In 21 districts of Wood County, Obama received 100% of the votes, where GOP inspectors were also illegally removed from their polling locations, and not a single vote was recorded for Romney Ryan. In one Ohio county of 98,000 voters, 106,000 votes are tallied, with enough multiple votes for Obama to throw the county and the state and the national election for Obama. Here's another fact for you. Obama won in every state that did not require a photo ID and lost in every state that requires a photo ID to vote. Think of all the settings where you need to show a photo ID or you cannot proceed in society. But to vote the world's greatest nation right into chaos, you do not need a photo ID. Obama, his party, his cronies in Chicago and France, the despotic world, all are cheering at the civil atrocities that flash flood across the USA today. Really, for any precinct to have 100% of its electorate vote left, that is a sociological, a psychological, and mathematical impossibility. Yet politically, it's quite possible. It happens when the self-obsessed and the self-serving ne'er-do-wells with a murderous bent on control run the system. Guess where else this happened in recent years? Try Iran, North Korea, Iraq, and what do you know? The USA. Or if president keeps getting his way, the USSA. And where are the Republicans at these times? They're busy criticizing Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio for speaking up on behalf of the 285 million Americans who want our nation, our borders, language, economy, military, and faith secured, not mocked. They also do not want Obamacare-less to run their lives. You do realize that Benghazi will not be remedied, not while it's being celebrated behind Democrat doors. Think. Frothing Muslim hordes killed 2 diplomats who were at odds with the White House and 2 Navy SEALs. Barack Obama responds, problem? King David pulled the exact military stunt on Uriah when he wanted him gone. Reinforcements are withdrawn and held back. Nathan rebuked this and called it murder. Few are speaking up today because they don't want to get audited by the DNC hitman, the IRS. Hey, everything's fine. Just keep surfing the web and the waves. Are you tired of this? You got remedies for all the nonsense? Send them to feedback@thehighroadshow.com.
We are back with Brenda Epperson. Drake is joining me, and we're going to be talking to her about Ascend Women's Conference. Brenda,
Yes.
tell me, how did you start Ascend Women's
Well,
Conference?
I didn't. I can't take credit
Oh,
for
okay.
it. God did. In 2012, and I mean that with all my heart, I was minding my own business, and I heard on the side of my head, I want you to do a women's conference. And I went,
Oh, okay.
I want you to do a women's conference. And I
Specifically, though, because it's not just any women's conference.
Those are the words, exactly.
Wow.
And I, in a million years, if you gave me a blank piece of paper and write 100 things I would do, will do, want to do, a women's conference would never have been one of them. I looked into it with some of the girls at a Bible study that I was leading at the time, and I said, I feel like I'm supposed to do a women's conference, but can you help me? And then it kind of dissipated. I started working on another show. I was under contract, and I thought, that's crazy. 2013, I want you to do a women's conference. And
It kept coming. Oh
call
my
Susie
goodness.
Weba.
Okay.
It's like, what? So I picked up the phone and I called Susan Weba, who I'd known for many, many years. And I said, I know this sounds crazy, but I feel like God wants me to do a women's conference, and I heard your name. Would you wanna? And before I could finish, she goes, yes.
Wow.
And I said,
she
what?
was
And she goes,
waiting.
where?
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know. When? I don't know. How? I don't know. Let's do it. And that is how the Ascend Conference was born. We met with the pastor, said, we feel like we're supposed to do a conference. He said, call Kathleen Cook. She does conferences. She'd be great.
Okay, yeah.
And thus the Ascend Women's Conference was born. This is our 3rd year this year.
What
Okay.
happens? What happens at these?
Well, at the Ascend Conference, you know, our goal, God told me 3 things. He said women would be saved, set free, and his name would be glorified.
Oh, right,
Those are
yeah.
the 3 things. But we really want to inspire, educate, and ignite women to go out into their homes, into their fields of work, or their places that they are out and about.
So
and
this is just for
encourage
any-
other women.
any women,
Any
any women,
women,
okay.
any age. We've had Nancy Alcorn with Mercy Ministries. We had Michelle Bachman. We have an exciting lineup for this year. Deborah Pagay. We've had a lot of incredible women that just come out, encourage, influence. We have women that are in the entertainment industry. Devon Franklin's wife came out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Megan
she's
Good.
fantastic,
She's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Megan
love
Good
her.
came out and spoke on the panel. We have had some incredible women to just encourage other women, no matter where you are in your sphere of life, or you know the influence that you have, that you can go out and just encourage other women as well.
Well, how do you think the Hollywood industry affects how we see women in our culture, and what are you doing to contrast that?
Well, you know, Hollywood does affect women and, you know, the culture, and the business is very persuasive. Hollywood is very persuasive and enticing. So what my heart is, and part of what I've done in my career and my life, is to promote life, as I said earlier, and not death. I think there's an assault on women, women hating on women, women bashing on women, you know, it's fun to see women arguing and hurting each other. Well,
Or
this-
even picking on men.
picking on men,
Which is
but-
kind of like the opposite of what we want to be.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the Ascend Women's Conference is about bringing women together of all different cultures and dynamics and groups and all walks of life, and bring us together under the umbrella of love and of God and of hope, and that we can all come together and get along and be inspired. And we all have something so incredibly together that bonds us in common, and that's love. And so I want to really encourage women to walk in love to one another. That's empowerment.
Yeah, so
And
it's
just real quick, you know what? I think it'd be great if Brenda would just in this final minute talk to the camera and tell young women what she would tell her younger self.
Well, when I was younger, one thing that I said to myself, that I wanted to affect the world and not let the world infect me. I wanted to be an inspiration. I wanted to be an encouragement. And I want to encourage you that no matter where you're at in your life, that you have the power to make a difference. And there's hope. And to continue making right decisions, because every right decision you make has an incredible outcome and brings a great fruit in your life and in your future, and in the future of other people's lives who are watching you that you don't even know.
Wow, Brenda, thank you so much for reaching out to those young women. Up next is more Got to See TV on the High Road.
I'm Melissa Nunnally, and we are back on Global Connection, where we solve the world's problems in 3 minutes or less. Today's topic, the implantable computer chip. By the year 2017, some believe that every person will be implanted with an ID chip. Let's discuss this. Do you guys think this is a beneficial step?
It sounds like it could be beneficial. I hear that these things will open doors. It'll start cars for you. You can control a computer like with the wave of your hand. Imagine opening your car with the wave of your hand. I would not lose keys, ID, and wallet.
That would save us a ton of time.
That would definitely make life more convenient.
Yeah, definitely. But you know, as much as I love gadgets like the next geeky gal, I just don't like the idea of technology being under my skin.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, like
Wow.
surgically implanted in
Yeah,
there.
I
Stop
keep my
it.
technology
Stop
on
it.
the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about people breaking in, some kind of hackers or systems like that? What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, no, I definitely don't like that. And what could possibly happen? I mean, we've seen the movie Divergent, right? Look how it took over their brains.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. You know, there was actually a scientist in the United Kingdom who gave himself an ID chip, and then he wanted to infect it with a computer virus just so he could see how it affected other computer systems around him.
Ew,
So he put it in there, and then what happened was when a computer system scanned it, it actually spread, that virus spread from his arm into the computer system. So he had infected this whole laboratory, the laboratory at the university he was working at. He infected it with a virus, just from scanning.
Yeah, that's kind of virtually gross if you ask me.
Yeah, it's very unappetizing. You know, the thing that, young people love new anything. Don't know what they're getting involved in. So I'm thinking it can go from being novel to being mandatory to being the mark of the beast. That's what I'm thinking. Hold it now.
Yeah, well,
that's
you
what
remember back in the
is
day
me.
when computers first came out, even barcodes, and everybody was really worried. And now technology is getting more and more advanced, and it's not the mark of the beast, but who knows?
Yeah, what's going to be the step over? And
Yeah.
I just don't want to participate.
Yeah, you definitely can see how it could be used in the hands of somebody who has, an idea for something evil.
Too much power.
Yeah.
Too much power.
Yeah, too
gone
much
amok.
opportunity for power.
So bottom line,
Yeah.
would you get it, yes or no?
No.
Even if it makes getting into your car easier.
No, she can help me. Keep track of my-
And there you have it. All right, we want your comments on this topic. If you were offered an implantable ID chip, would you take it? Send us an email at feedback@thehigh-road-show.com.
Another great show is in the books. Thank you all for joining us.
I had a great time with Brenda. She is pure sunshine.
And she's spreading that sunshine through her Ascend Women's Conferences.
Definitely. We want to know, what is your favorite part of the show? Please send us your questions or ideas to feedback@thehigh-road-show.com.
Our next show is very topical with a focus on mental illness and bullying.
There will be some really compelling stories. You won't want to miss it.
Thank you again for joining us, and remember to take the high road.